Brock Lesnar is currently hospitalized, and the shocking truth is that CM Punk is the reason behind it. What happened on Monday Night Raw wasn't just another segment. It's being called the most violent, unpredictable, and controversial moment in WWE history. The wrestling world hasn't stopped buzzing, the mainstream media is in a frenzy, and insiders are talking about potential lawsuits, criminal investigations, and the terrifying possibility that Brock Lesnar's in-ring career might actually be over. CM Punk didn't just return. He stormed into Raw, dismantled the beast incarnate in front of millions, and walked out as if he owned the entire company. If you missed it, you need to sit tight, because what I'm about to break down might change the way you look at professional wrestling forever. The footage of what went down was so brutal that USA Network reportedly considered pulling it from replays, and major sponsors are threatening to walk. This wasn't a scripted storyline. This wasn't performance. This was real, raw, and absolutely out of control. But before we dive into the chaos, let's rewind and understand how WWE even reached this boiling point. For months, Brock Lesnar had been on a rampage unlike anything the modern era of WWE had seen. He annihilated Cody Rhodes, flattened Seth Rollins again, and humiliated Drew McIntyre. Every week, the formula was the same. Paul Heyman would come out, deliver his classic introduction, and Brock would F5 someone through the mat. At first, fans cheered, but eventually the dominance got predictable, stale, and lifeless. People started to turn on him. Not because Brock isn't a monster, but because his invincibility had drained all suspense from WWE television. Social media turned into a storm of complaints. Ratings dipped. Live crowds grew quieter. WWE had a serious Brock Lesnar problem, and creative knew it. Backstage meetings became heated. Some writers wanted to turn Brock face. Others wanted a legitimate challenger who could finally take him down. But the issue was, nobody believable remained. Roman Reigns was tied up on SmackDown. Cody had already fallen. Seth had been beaten multiple times. So the question loomed, who could stop the beast? And then, someone, rumor says it was Triple H himself, dropped the most nuclear suggestion possible. Bring back CM Punk and let him be the one to end Brock Lesnar. Behind the curtain, those secret negotiations were a spy movie come to life. Burner phones, encrypted emails, unmarked hotels, and NDA meetings were the norm. Nobody could know Punk was even considering returning because a leak would ruin everything. According to sources close to the talks, Punk had 3 non-negotiable demands. 1. Complete creative control. He wanted final say on every storyline, no interference from Triple H, creative, or even Vince McMahon if he ever returned. 2. A guaranteed main event spot at WrestleMania 41. No if the story fits. And 3. The most shocking clause of all. CM Punk wanted to retire Brock Lesnar. Not just beat him, end him. Permanently write him off WWE television. But why would Brock agree to that? The truth is, he didn't know. Insiders claim Brock was told he'd be facing Punk in a competitive feud leading into WrestleMania, a money-making, even-footed rivalry. What he wasn't told was that Punk's first night back would involve a one-sided destruction so violent that it blurred the line between fiction and reality. When Raw aired, chaos was unleashed. Midway through the show, Brock came out with Heyman for what seemed like another typical promo. The crowd was half interested, half bored. Then, darkness. The arena went pitch black. Total silence. 10 seconds later, the opening riff of Cult of Personality shattered the silence, and the crowd exploded.
Lights on.
CM Punk stood at the top of the ramp, not in casual clothes, but in full gear, fists taped, eyes cold and determined. Brock's face instantly changed. The usual smirk was gone, replaced with confusion and what looked like genuine unease. Heyman froze beside him. Punk walked slowly to the ring, grabbed a steel chair from ringside, and just stood there staring Brock down. Heyman tried to talk him down, begging for calm, but Punk didn't move. Then Brock made the fatal mistake. He laughed. He taunted Punk, bounced around the ring, doing his trademark intimidation routine. That's when Punk struck. He slid into the ring and, without hesitation, swung the chair across Brock's back. Not a staged shot, a real one. The sound cracked through the arena. Brock went down to one knee. Punk didn't stop. Shot after shot after shot. 4 times in succession. The crowd went from cheering to stunned silence. Security rushed in.